Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and today, thanks to Bond Group in Waltham, Massachusetts, we're driving the final iteration of the Aston Martin DB9. This is the 2016 DB9 GT. It's powered by its 5.9-liter naturally aspirated V12, making 540 horsepower, 457 pound-feet of torque. That's up almost 100 horsepower from where the DB9 started. Rear-wheel drive, of course, and powered through a 6-speed automatic gearbox with paddle shifters, column mounted, of course, because she's a supercar. But you can get into DB9s awfully cheap these days relative to other V12, let's say supercars. It's a GT car, but it's an Aston Martin. But to me, this is the pick of the litter. It's outfitted in gorgeous titanium silver paint and inside Chancellor red leather with all kinds of great stitching and piping. This car is it for me. If I was going to buy a DB9, this is the one I'd be saving my pennies for. So style-wise, of course, we've gone through a couple, if not 3 or 4 facelifts in the DB9 to get here, and the badges are black. Usually these are reserved for DB or David Brown special models, from what I can tell. A lot of times they're green if they're just sort of ordinary Aston Martins, but not so here. And the interior, we gotta just open this up because this is how you do an Aston Martin. You do a subtle but classy exterior color, and then you go big inside. If this was a Volante model with the convertible, this would pop so well. But honestly, I'm really loving this headliner. Every detail in this car really just shows off what Aston Martin was capable of at the time. And we get real gauges, even down to the font and the 240 mile per hour speedometer. This thing just kills. This has the Vanquish style steering wheel, so it's a little bit square. And then you've got the column mounted paddle shifters. Unfortunately, they never upgraded these cheesy Ford vibe stocks. They feel so cheap, but everything else in the car feels ultra expensive. So quick peek under the hood, and I'm not even gonna do this. We gotta check under this gas cap because look at this. It has a GT gas cap. How cool is that? I like that. And in the back, in the boot, reasonable space for stuff. But right now, I just got camera gear, a license plate that we're gonna put on, and this car cover. But under the hood, this is the heart and soul of the DB9, and boy, do I miss this engine. We love to tease this engine and say, oh, it's 2 Ford Mondeo V6s welded together, but it's such a juicy powerhouse, a wave of torque, and it's fun to rev out, and it looks really good under the hood. It's so nice to open a hood of a car and not just see a nest of wires. You actually get a classy vibe. And of course, the Aston Martin hand-built in England. This one's final inspection by Jem Dwyer. I have never seen a Jem Dwyer before. I get a lot of repeats in this business, but never seen a Jem Dwyer, so that's a first for me. And gluing it to the road on these gorgeous 20-inch wheels in front of carbon ceramic brakes is a 245 section tire up front and a 295 in the rear. So let's close it up and just take it for a drive because it's always a treat to experience these cars. You can always tell an Aston Martin has been lovingly cared for when the struts on the doors, the swan doors, still work. But to get it started, we've got our key, which comes with this great little leather pouch in order to preserve it. We've got the crystal key, that's a little magnetic guy, and you've got to be a little clever about popping it out. Pull that out, and that's the jewelry that you would receive when you buy an Aston Martin back in the day. And you actually did have to take it out and put it in here. Oh, these cars are just dialed in. They feel so good. To get the emergency brake or parking brake, we say e-brake in the Northeast at least. E-brake does not mean electronic brake. It stands for emergency brake. But to release that parking brake, we pull. This is just flappy right now. You can tell it's engaged, but you pull up till you get some tension, then you pull the button and release, and that's how you get that down. A lot of people just get confused. I've gotten phone calls from very experienced car reviewers asking, how the heck do I release the handbrake on an Aston Martin? And there it is. Okay, the other thing, this has not changed. They've maintained that. To get it into gear, we just press D, easily accessible, and away we go. get this into sport mode. There's no nose lift on the car, but it does have enough clearance to do what you need it to do. But if you lived in the city and you had some tricky entryway into your skyscraper with your very expensive Aston Martin, you may want to check that out before you buy. But what's nice about this is it's very usable. It does feel like a sporty daily driver. It doesn't feel necessarily like it needs to just be some weekender. And while it could absolutely serve the purpose of a weekender in many a supercar-filled garage, it can also fill the purpose of classy daily driver. It has reasonable visibility, it's easy to drive, it's got a smooth transmission, although sometimes that 1.2 can be a little clunky on these ZF6s. But it is wonderful to drive at low speeds and around town. That's the joy of these V12s, and that's what makes the Bentleys and the Rolls Royces of the world good at wafting along, because it's not that you need all the power all the time, it's just that you're using such a small percentage of the power and torque that you never feel like you're strained for resources, we'll put it that way. Amazing how this platform behaves as a luxurious GT car, but also tightens up and feels really appropriate when you're driving it kind of hard, and you can feel that rear end tighten up, you can feel it put down the power, everything just flows so nicely with it. I really love the Vanquish steering wheel. I think it's a fun addition to the car, and I love the Vanquish. I think it's a very pretty car, prettier than this even. But the Vanquish is expensive to run for a reason that I don't think anybody really thinks of, is that low lip spoiler in the front is carbon fiber. There's a lot of carbon on the Vanquish, and it just feels like you're always about to smash up a very expensive piece of carbon on that car, and it's frustrating. Whereas in this, I don't quite have the same fears. That's cool. I, for one, lost a bit of interest in the Aston Martin brand when they moved away from the VH platform cars like this. And while obviously these are more affordable in the secondhand market, I do think these are the modern Aston Martins to own. And a DB9 from, what, 2005 or 2006 can sell for pretty cheap money, and you're still getting a V12 and all the bells and whistles, but the style and the pedigree of a graduated DB9 like this 2016 GT, it holds a lot of weight and it looks the part, and I think it'll continue to look the part for a long time. This is a pretty timeless thing, and I'm sure it will sell for quite a bit more than an 06 DB9, but still going to sell for a heck of a lot less than if you were to try to get into a newer Aston Martin. And it'll always look like it cost a lot more than you spent. If you're lucky, you'll find one like this that's been trimmed properly with this great paint, and we'll do our best not to smash into any road debris from the groundskeepers that seemingly follow me around to run their reed whackers whenever I'm in town filming. But I just think that this is the absolute, wow, towed that one with you. Guys, be patient around cyclists. It's fine. And over the years, I've pretty much said everything I need to say about DB9s, and I wasn't even going to film this particular car today, but when I saw it in person, I just knew this had to be on camera. It's so gorgeous. It struck me as something that I would love to have in my garage, and I wanted to share it with you, even through a little ASMR therapy drive vibe. It's also timeless because it has a reasonable transmission. It's a ZF6 torque converter. It's not that single clutch nightmare that we've experienced in so many other cars that age the car out, and then you just dream about having a manual transmission. This would be cool with a manual transmission, and there are manual DB9s out there, but I think this suits the car just fine, and it's a relaxed vibe. You don't feel like you have to be strung out going crazy. This is good. This is good. This is for the person who enjoys a Bentley but wants a little more thrill. And to me, these are the glory days of Aston Martin. So thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.